Good day, everyone. Welcome on board the captain's desk. With me, I have two solid, heavy engineers. To my left, I have Chief Engineer Akitsuji Damilola, aka aka reminds me, okay, aka Strength of Material. And to my right, I have my everybody, Titanic. This is a chief engineer, Inedu Anthony. Although now is maybe management. You didn't call it management now. So I actually dragged these two people out because we've been having this conversation, this argument, this. But deck and engine, most of the time, we are best friends outside the ship, but when we get on board, there's always this loggerheads. Though it's nothing personal, it's always as regards the job. It's the beauty, it's the fun of the job. So now I dragged these people out based on the Baltimore Bridge collapse. And I said, Chief Engineer, this is your fault. Chief Engineer is claiming, Captain, this is your fault.
As always.
Captain said, if it's not your fault, then it's the fault of the management. So now, we want to look at this scenario from various angles. Just our own opinion. It's not binding on anything. It's not binding on investigation. Strictly for our own consumption and to learn from incidents. So this is a learning from incident case. So if we go down, let's look at the video in circulation regarding this incident. So, Chief Engineer, I'm sure you could see that's Engineer Damilola. You could see that, okay, there was first a power loss. Then shortly, there was a recovery. This recovery seems like it is a emergency generator.
Based on reports.
Based on reports. Good.
Looks like.
Looks like. Okay. So we'll still look at factors, the engineering information regarding the emergency generator, how long the vessel should recover, right? So now, the recovery, then you see a thick dark smoke, right? After that, what happened? The vessel starts swinging to the right, to starboard. Then they lost the generators again. Then shortly before the collision, there was a recovery. And after that recovery, it was too late to stop. Then they bumped into the bridge and the bridge came down. So now, from reports, from various reports we've read from various media, we discovered that the captain was able to call the port operation. Port operation called the bridge to stop the cars, vehicular movement, which was, if you look at from the time at which they had the first blackout till the collision is about approximately 5 minutes. So within 5 minutes, they were able to stop vehicle from coming on the bridge. Those guys, they are superheroes. They should be celebrated for that. And secondly, they were able to drop anchor. They dropped port anchor to slow down the vessel. So from engineering perspective, what do you think? Why should the vessel be having blackout in the channel in these critical situations? What did you do?
But truth be told, blackouts can arise at any time, though it is not an acceptable situation in that kind of environment.
It's an emergency situation.
Yes, but there are some situations that can warrant blackouts on board a vessel. Had it been this other conventional new model of vessels, we can say it has been overloaded based on the generator, like a diesel electric now. Okay. But this is a generator running on its own and a main engine running on its own. Though on this kind of vessel, the Luboy system, pressure water system, every other system attached to the main engine is powered by the generator. So generator goes down.
So propulsion is still dependent on the generator.
Yeah, exactly.
One way or the other.
Unlike an attached engine, when you have the lube oil pump attached to the main engine, the freshwater pump attached to the main engine, like that. So even on a blackout situation, you still have some ample time to salvage situation before engine. Before engine now gets, before the situation gets to an engine in an attached situation, maybe you are talking of the controller when your air level is low. So you might be having a situation which can still be
much time to
so, but in this situation now, everything is independent and depending on the generator. Now,
the additions to the propulsion for engine, the lube oil pump,
yeah,
oil pump,
yes, they are all are with the main engine. I've had a situation like that where we had blackout.
That is like, okay, what is, we are assuming for a ship of this standard
Caliber, yeah.
or this type.
Yes.
The main engine is on its own. Then there are other auxiliaries that feed the main engine separate, which uses electric motor with electric power. Separate. That's so the way he said, like the lube oil pump, the fuel pump will pump the pump from separate source.
Yeah.
The lube oil will pump the lube oil from separate source to the main engine. So the fresh water that cool the engine will come from outside.
My own question is, if everything is dependent on the generator, is there a possibility of gravity flow? Like if, for example, fuel pump is not running, I know the position of day tank.
You see how the booster pump now, which is going to be motorized.
Gravity cannot solve. Because gravity, how many pressure can you get?
But at least, yes, even if it's not supplying enough by the tanks, are they not supposed to have a kind of, maybe at low speed?
That's where the sensor will come in. At that gravity speed, the shutdown safety sensor will shut down the engine.
Will shut down the engine. So it means you can you override that?
No.
Because the worst case scenario. No, I know you guys know how to override many things. Yeah, you guys know how to override many things. So my own concern is the engine. You have a blackout, right?
No, let's talk about the causes of the blackout.
Yes. Before I go to causes, I'm just very much concerned about falling down a bridge and knocking your engine. Which one is more? Like, I know the worst case that will happen is for your engine to knock. So me, I want to use that engine for 5 minutes to cross that bridge. Because anyway, what could lead to? Why did you black out the ship?
In this scenario now, normally it's majorly fuel.
Yeah, for this level.
Or an electrical failure or a breach in the electrical equipment, which can result into the bus bar and switchboard. I mean,
do you have switchboard too on these conventional ships?
Of course.
Yes, now you do.
Okay, I think
the switchboard is one that will distribute. When the power generator from generator, it has to come to the switchboard. Before it can be.
So if the switchboard is affected, it now gives out power. And
okay, so for example, let's assume when that generator, most of these vessels have shaft generator, right?
Some do.
It's on the but it's optional.
Some
so if you have got,
but at this stage, I don't think she can be able to use the shaft generator.
What are the things that can be loaded on the emergency generator?
The emergency steering pump.
Emergency steering pump.
Yes.
Okay. You
have the now. Those are the.
Okay, so how
sometimes it's rare for Luboy and this.
If it's not there, then why won't the emergency sorting?
Yes, it has to be.
It has to be because if it's not working there.
No, normally all these vessels have their regulated specs of what should be on the emergency generator, but in this case, we should have if you have the emergency steering pump, you should have the fuel pump, pumps.
And those fuel pumps, I know it's not only one fuel pump you've got.
Sure.
You have one. How many?
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Mostly 1 and 2.
So 1 and 2, what is
1
the
and 2,
redundancy?
1 and 2.
Yeah, one will be on the standby just in case. Then
But
if you
still
put it
the
on
same power.
Same power.
So after maybe you guys on conventional vessels lack redundancy.
then we should have to visit the vessel to know what really went on, because there should be a redundancy in power. Because to me,
yes,
I am not expecting the emergency generator. It's the last option. Okay. So if you have 2 generators on board, minimum of 2 on board, one should be on standby.
You should be running all of them even while you're in.
Thank you.
But
normally, I'm talking of normal situation now, that one is on standby, just in case anything happens. The other one should. And if it delays, now the emergency generator is counting.
Okay. How many minutes?
Maximum of 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
Within 40 seconds. So now emergency generator is counting, waiting for the standby generator to kick up. So if it doesn't kick up, the emergency.
Once they kick up and they are taking consumption from the same tank.
No, it's not possible.
That's why it's emergency generator.
No, I'm not talking about emergency now. Generator.
That is generator number 2.
Or the standby generator.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. They are also consuming from the same tank, right?
Yes.
So if they are consuming from the same tank, and maybe fuel contamination has ended the life of one. The second one that is coming up, it will take up the same problem.
Yes.
So is there any design that takes that helps to mitigate them having the same problem? Because I know on DP vessels,
like the isolation valve that maybe they are 4 generator. Yes,
they're not supposed to take.
No, even when you are running, the isolation valve should always be closed.
Yes.
As you have 2 service tanks
running
separate
lines.
But you can use them. But
you can use them. But for conventional vessels,
my last vessel of this caliber, we had 1 day tank for generators.
Yeah, my 2 1 day
from build.
Yes,
from build
for the generators.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, you know, DP.
And that vessel must be very old.
This my guy now.
even not old. You know, it's not about old. It's not about age. It's just about the criticalness. This kind of thing hardly happens on a vessel like this. But for a DP vessel working always alongside a rig, they know that any failure eventually.
But this one, even at that, yes, wait. But even at that, but before we now conclude on the day tank, what about the second tank? There's no day tank without a second tank.
So before,
except there are some vessels without.
The journey of the fuel from taking bunkers, what are the journey that your fuel has to go through?
Yes, from the storage tank. Goes to the
from the bunker vessel.
From the bunker vessel.
So take from the beginning. Do you know, is there no need for you to get the samples and do a test of the bunker before you take them?
Of course, no. Normally, the bunker is coming with certificate now.
Yeah, so we base our assumption.
You rely on that.
Yes, that's why I say we base our assumption.
So do you now load it directly on existing fuel, or you have a separate tank to put it first? While you are consuming from the old one, waiting for this one to settle.
Depending on the capacity you are taking, the volume you are taking. Okay. Normally,
in some cases you might not have a free tank.
Yes.
No, but for a vessel of this size, if you are taking bunker, the compatibility of the fuel you have before and the fuel you are bringing should be considered, so you don't mix them with the fuel. Okay. You have on board, so you collect. So you take your vessel.
First of all, is going into the bunker tank.
Bunker tank. Bunker tank.
Yes, could be. In best practice, you want to have it in
separate tank. Yes.
But if it is not possible, maybe due to space.
Yes, you can add. Maybe
when you now finish, you've taken samples from the manifold, right? Mm-hmm. You do your test. Do you do tests? Do you test on board?
No, but in some cases we still send samples.
Test, but you
take samples to office. That is if
like
no.
Is this
you smell how does not that?
No, but you can have some. You can have some density
you get foam.
No, you can
don't
do
get
some
foam.
gravity tests, little tests on board. There are some gravity test kits.
Yeah.
You can have some. It depends on your management or what they supply to you. There could be some little tests that you can carry. Okay. Maybe gravity test. Yeah, something that you maybe pH test, just viscosity test, little. Water test, you do it. Yes, water test you can check. No, you can't test the one. We cannot test the software will come with the certificate of when the certificate of quality
certain number, all these things you have to
do. Something needs to check the integrity of companies that are even supplying you.
Yes, because the company too have to protect their own interest and integrity.
Okay, now we have taken bunkers. We've done all our necessary checks. The bunker gets on board. We found water in the bunker. Yeah. So what do you do?
And like a vessel of this size.
How did you find water in the bunker?
You have water paste now. Maybe you sound and you see water.
Okay. And so no matter what it is, in this case, because there might be water, because at this case, this kind of vessel look like vessel using HFO.
Sure.
So there's allowance of some little quantity of water. Yeah, of course, that's why you now have your purifiers.
Okay. Purifiers.
Yeah, in this case, you have to purify. Settling time.
How long do you put cargo the bunker in the settling time before you can use it?
There is no particular time, but it's
advisable. You just advise maybe maximum from 12 hours above.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So just leave it to settle.
Yes.
And somebody will be draining.
Sure, constantly. All the time. Per watch. Normally per watch.
So when you are draining, when do you get to know that okay, this thing is okay?
Do you want to be an engineer? The water,
no. See, Captain,
will be
you know the fuel. Yes. Okay, what is there is this. You have the sample bottle. Take it to the down. So when you fetch some, do some comparison. Then you know. But you should know what water and fuel.
Yes. So after you drain. Have good quality.
Yes.
Then you now run it through your purifier.
Yes.
To go into your day
tank.
Okay. Your day tank or service tank, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it gets to your day tank, you have by the time you are consuming, you have oil water mist, right?
That's a kind of condensation from the return.
Yes, you can.
That's why you still.
There's a sensor in the engine that will detect this, right?
In the engine to detect water in your fuel.
Yes. Maybe you are consuming. There's nothing like that.
No, it's some of my vessels do have it in the line. So there's the element of water going. So it just gives you an awareness. Then you go back and do some draining. Then confirm. You check from the stepper filter. Then if it's confirmed.
Okay. Then, so this a vessel like this might have.
Yes.
And again, you guys have
and then you might have
cooling for your engines, right?
For the engine or for the fuel?
For the engine.
Sure, all engines have cooling.
Now, the cooling, is there no way the cooling can leak into the engine?
Well, of course, it's possible now. Cooling can leak several weeks.
No. Because I'm thinking if it is not fuel.
If you are cooling your fuel,
fuel or
we cook fuel.
It's possible to cook fuel if it's HFO. Yes.
No, we won't cook this. We cook this nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are cooling your fuel, it's most advisable to use plate cooler. So there's very little chances of mixture or contamination.
So there's no way water will get into the fuel from cooling system.
Cooling system to the fuel from the cooling system.
No,
it's not possible.
It's not possible.
Okay.
Very slim.
Okay. Now, filter. What can clog your filter despite you have gone through all this process, settling, quality, what can still...
If you purify, there are some micro level of dirt that purifier cannot still take out because the filter, this thing, they are smaller. The micros and so that. So as the fuel go steady, start to small.
But you know one thing people believe that purifier is everything about fuel.
Okay, so the filter will take care of whatever
that is passing to escape purifier.
There are so many toll gates for this world.
Yeah, there are so many toll gates. Sure.
So now we are not concluding that.
Yeah. That causes the blackout.
What other things can lead to that blackout without fuel? If it is not fuel.
That's why I said it might be an electrical fault. Electrical fault that bounce back to. So the electrical fault now escaped through other safety devices like the fuses, the breakers, down to the switchboard.
Okay.
Or it affected only the distribution board to some powers and the motors that controls the pumps.
The pump.
So it might affect only those. You might see that on the vessel, the cook is still cooking. They doesn't know that. You just see that some light has gone off. So sometimes blackout is not. You have partial blackouts. So we don't know this situation. Is it
maybe
partial
some breaker
blackout?
trip
Is it
off?
Full blackout?
But it looks like
now
a full
normally
blackout.
if it's electrical, normally it's supposed to be partial blackout, depending on the intensity or the how heavy it is.
Okay, so what could lead to that dark smoke?
I should ask you.
That dark smoke.
That's
when
Captain want to spoil the engine now.
Because what is it? So that dark smoke shows that's the start engine astern.
Okay, so you after blowing through your engine.
But that's what I want to say. 1 hour. This engine,
after like 30 minutes, you want to blow through again. Why? What kind of that?
No. But even starting engine on astern, the level of smoke, you should have smoke. You have higher smoke.
But in some countries that they have regulations for that you cannot have such smoke in the port.
Even the regulations.
That's air pollution.
Depending on your kind of fuel, now I think there's control on your sulfur content.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I think that thick smoke was because of astern start. Yes.
Yeah, I think on emergency.
Yeah, maybe that quick.
Could it also be
that is high load, overload on the engine?
No, that smoke is too much for a generator.
That smoke is too small for a generator.
It's too much for a generator.
Could it be that
just the engine was overload?
Propulsion starting.
Yes, at ascend position.
But in this situation, the engine is started in the engine room.
If it is pitch control,
the engine is started in the engine room. In this situation, this kind of vessel, the engine.
No, it's possible to start from the bridge.
No.
Why?
Okay, let's assume it started. They started from engine room.
You start everything.
On maneuvering. You maneuvering.
No, everything, even bridge. You start everything. You give bridge their command. Yeah.
For this kind of vessel.
Yes, for this kind of vessel. In fact, I think at this vessel, that is what you should. You should not be standing that maneuvering.
The control.
You give the bridge
not the telegraph.
Yes. See, this kind of engine, even both the telegraph, this kind of at this level, both the telegraph will respond is automatic. As you bring it to stop, you accept the stop. The engine will. You don't need to. You don't need to.
That's what I'm saying. That you need to accept.
Yeah, you have to just to accept. But the engine will respond.
Will the engine respond?
No.
So meaning you are the one doing it. They will only give a signal of death to astern.
Okay.
It's a signal.
Yes.
Only yes sound. If you don't do it, it's not happening.
It's not happening. It's you as in charge. Okay. Yeah.
But in a situation whereby you can go to your bed, let me go astern, let me do my thing.
No. You have to stay. You have to stay.
Especially when you are maneuvering.
Yes. Especially when you are maneuvering.
So the captain gives full astern from full ahead to full astern. You do have choice.
You chase it back to full astern. Yes.
Okay.
So no, I'm loving this. What is the learning point? What do you think you would have done differently as a chief engineer that would prevent you from having a blackout?
I can't do everything. That's why you have to have you have your competent hands. Okay. Sometimes some chief engineers they believe they are paid their dues. Some believe they are paid their dues in full. They don't need to be there. Me. But all my second
you that are still paying.
My second engineers. My second engineers to beg me that like you think I don't know these things? No, you don't have to be here. No, there are sometimes I have to be here. You understand? So I don't want a situation whereby captain will say, where was chief engineer? I did here. So when Captain said chief engineer, I was not in the engineer. That I was there. So everything happened in my presence, especially when it's time for maneuvering. So I don't take chances for operations.
So do you agree that the engine can still run for a short period without generator?
No.
I doubt. No.
That
so once the loop boy is out, especially the loop boy.
So the loop boy is out, should the engine shut down?
Yes.
Sure.
It has a limit, even when it's running.
Yes.
It has a limit.
What if you slow down your speed?
That's why I say that's a limit by design. Like some engines now, up to like 1.8 as minimum. So even
for loop boy is going shut down direct.
Yes, now. So
that thing could cause speed reduction.
What I will have done different? Yes. When we talk of this checklist, I do those things myself. It's a designated job already, but I still this report of a thing is not what anybody likes to write. So just to mitigate any kind of things, just to be sure. Like when we do this engine room resource management, you know the capabilities of your crew. And I can't say, okay, I want to sack somebody because of what? I can build him, I can train him. So in the course of training, I'll be doing some things in his presence for him to catch up. So that's why. But
so you ensure that the checklist is supervised by you. But make sure that it's done.
It's done. By you, chief engineer or second engineer?
That's why it's a designated job.
Okay.
I might be doing nothing and I feel like, who can stop me? It's what I can do.
Okay. Just to monitor
So when I am sure that they can do it, especially when you stand your feet that these things must be done, and they know that you always monitor it, so they won't even want to do it. It's now a part of them that is a routine that this man can come anytime. So these things have to be done, because if you don't check, what if he passes and see that this is and you're supposed to be part of your checklist? So what happened? Did the line leak off after your checklist or what? And when we got there and nothing happened, then that means you have not done your complete checklist. So
and then at the point of starting, at this point, you make sure that 2 generators is running, and at least 1 generator can carry the full load, but you still have 2 generators running steady. Yes. At the point of maneuvering, 2 generators should be running. Sure. Apart from even when there is standby,
because I know that
2 generators should be running.
Both steering pumps are running. So I'm not going to say, okay, 1 steering pump. No, I want to run the 2. So I don't see reason why you should not run even all your generators.
It depends on the power load. If
power management.
Yes, if 1 generator can carry power management. Yeah, what I'm saying is, at least 1 generator can carry all the load, but the 2 should be running. So you share the load, but the 2 is running. In case 1 fails, 1 can still carry all the load.
Yes, one takes
over all the load. So, so that is why. So in case of, let's assume
on DP vessels, the amount of load you have, for example, you must have available power and
power
consumption. So now,
available power should be far more than
more
than 70%. You should not go more than even 40%.
Yes.
Because by the time you lose one of the power, at least you have the other one to take over 80%.
Yes.
Automatically.
Yes.
But you won't wait until you have 50%, because that one will take you to 100%.
Sure.
Are these engines tested out to 100% load test? Have they been load tested to 100%? Is it a requirement that
it's a requirement
that you have to load test? How often?
Yes.
Normally, you're supposed to be like in all these DP vessels, you've been doing the DP trials every year.
So you load test 100%?
Yes.
For how many minutes?
15 minutes minimum.
Minimum?
Yeah.
So you mean
or maybe even after
you load
an overhaul.
Engine,
yes.
Even after an overhaul.
You load your engine to 100% for 15 minutes. By manufacturer's advice, is that advisable?
Yes, now it's up to 30 minutes, so that's minimum 15 minutes.
Okay.
30 minutes at least.
Because I've had experience with the vessels, old vessels, for example.
So
when you run your engine.
That is where
when you do all these things, time to time, the engines will be used to all these things. But when you you have not been doing them. You don't know what extent your engines can go.
So if you run your engines now
and it depends on your kind of maintenance.
And
high temperature.
Not even high temperature. Your piston busting your blocks.
That's you have not been doing it before. Maybe one day you just come and start.
But
it's rare. That's rare.
Very rare.
That's mean your engine is bad. That's mean your engine is not bad.
Your car to 100% for that long, for maybe 5 minutes.
But these engines are stronger now. These are diesel engines. You can't compare with
so
car engine.
But
I think you'll be going gradually.
If your car engine cannot get to that mark, they won't put it there, or at least they'll put the red dot there. That is if you are cruising. But if you just want to rev it to know the be sure that your engine can rev to. If you wish, it's part of your test. But normally it's the manufacturer that do that.
So maybe after your experience, manufacturer requirements allows you to do 100% load.
Not for cars, though. I don't know about cars.
Captain, you are not saying because before you are not seeing any mistakes on the captain's side, on the exec side. Where was Aisha chief officer was
one of the captains.
Aisha captain's on the bridge. Aisha is not that time that they say
no. Chief officer is not there. Chief officer is still calling rope.
Chief officer is still calling rope. Because
the first question I ask you guys is that what happens if fuel? That means they sell fuel.
No. We
are not saying fuel.
No, what we are doing is that we are trying to troubleshooting fine. Then we have to eliminate the side that is an engineer's fault.
Yes.
So and if it's an engineer's fault, we will still agree until we have the this is a preliminary report.
Yes.
Until we have the final report.
Yes, the blackout has happened. Several things have caused blackout. It might not be human error. It might be electrical error, mechanical error, just normal failure. It might not even be fuel. Okay, now this has happened. But my own is if the captain can have the time to call the
authorities.
Definitely, they have 2 pilots on board.
Okay, they have 2 pilots.
We definitely do the communication because you keep talking to the port operation.
Okay.
So
he can call them,
and they call the talks to come back.
Was there a communication between the chief engineer and the captain?
Okay, definitely there will be.
Yeah, so we should know about that.
Okay, well, like from the report we have so far, we've not seen any any statement of fact that this was the communication between engine room and the bridge, and
the speed at which that vessel was going around that side, isn't that speed that much?
No, it's not much.
Okay. Well, we don't know this.
No. When we are talking about the speed now,
yes.
Look, he said, what speed do you think he's running on?
Is 8 knots.
He's running on 8 knots.
Yes.
And he's running on 8 knots. So with 8 knots now,
those vessels now.
With 8 knots now, are you saying the anchor cannot hold the vessel based on the 8 knots?
Okay. Let's.
No, you can't. Anchor was dropped before the impact.
Number one, that vessel, in my own opinion, is sort of close to the outer end of the passage when even there is no incoming traffic under the bridge. I cannot say specifically because we are seeing it from one angle of the camera of the CCTV. We don't know what the actual thing. So I'm talking from aspect now. Maybe it's too close because if you look at the rate of turn, probably the current should not. Even in fact, I can tell that the direction of the wind because of the direction of that thick smoke. It's not like so. It's not that there is a strong wind because that thick smoke just come and it was not really. If it is a strong wind, you will definitely see that the smoke moves faster.
Yeah.
So now, with that kind of vessel, if it is wind on the windage area, with the wind profile of such vessel, it should move bodily.
Okay.
And I can bet that even if that guy did not go astern, with the momentum you've built at 8 knots, you will still pass under that bridge without colliding.
Okay.
The extent is because they said you are just 5 minutes away. So how much distance? With 8 knots and your vessel shut down, you will still the momentum to move you. You understand? But panic definitely at setting. The first thing anybody wants to do is you want to stop the ship.
Okay.
And the moment you kick a stern proportion, the heading will definitely change depend on the characteristics, the steering characteristics of the vessel. So now, this particular one, astern is giving them a starboard swing. And what is the angle of rudder when it happens? By panic, definitely hard to starboard, hard to port. There are some M's order. So we will definitely know from the VDR what are the M's order given at that time. When they had a recovery, do they get the steering back? Yes. What M's order was the first to give? Were they after stopping the speed or after steering the head? Right? The pilot card, when you're filling the pilot card, all the steering characteristics of the vessel are being stated. You understand? So it is, and again, they drop the anchor, the port anchor, and yet the vessel move. And I cannot really tell, but those guys that are dropping the anchor, you seeing that massive bridge in front of you, vessel moving at 8 knots into the bridge, you drop anchor, will you stay to close your brake? You understand? Definitely, they were just brake, then they run away. So if the brake is not closed, what happens? It can drag it. And again, 8 knots. The brake, the anchor is gripping. Before it can grip, it's not like it's just boom. It will still move. You understand? So definitely there are some movements. It's just to slow down the speed.
Yes.
But that did not work. Maybe the brake was not closed. When they saw that they are close to the bridge, they just open and they leave it. Maybe they close it and it drags the anchor.
It happened under 2 minutes.
Yes, it's so fast.
So from when it dropped the anchor and
the collision. So the likelihood of the brake to the anchor to stop the vessel is very low. And again, the moment they were leaving the port, was the anchor hanging or was it still at water surface?
Was that follow the level? Yes, the checklist follow at that time.
That okay, they are leaving it so that it also takes time to drop them. So all these things, we might not have a full idea, but definitely, in my own opinion, I still say kudos to those guys that stop the traffic. And you see the rate at which those thugs they turn back.
Yeah,
really smart. So future, I would advise that critical passage like that, they should still leave the thugs to escort the vessel till you clear from all critical areas.
As hard as it might be as an engineer to accept, I will still say that from the point of view, chunks of the problem can be from the engine room.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Of course. There's blackout already there.
Yes,
every other thing after the blackout is just
apart from sabotage.
Yes.
Apart from sabotage. Guys, so captains you don't want to work with and you just go and
so you
we'll go down together. Let's go down together. So captains, they will ask you first before me now.
Yes.
That captain must be having a sleep.
So they will ask captain first before me now. So and if a smart engineer, there is no evidence.
No, in a vessel like that, there must be evidence because alarm history.
Yes,
alarm history. You can't delete alarm history.
You understand? So, they will investigate. They are even calling for their license. Now, in Nigeria, let's quickly go back to Nigeria now. With the system we run, the kind of thugs we have in our port, with the pilots we've got, we have bridge now, but we don't go on that bridge. At least I know sometimes some years back, vessel have jammed Ijora Bridge, that Eco Bridge. You were on board, Abi?
No, God was
You know about that?
No.
Okay. I don't want to talk the name of the ship because I don't want to talk the name of the ship, but I suspect you.
We're together there.
No, I'm not. I actually joined.
All those vessels that did those.
That was where I got my chief mate promotion.
Okay. After jamming.
That jamming was, and I was not sent on board.
Okay.
So when they dropped the chief,
okay.
So I got on board. I got the job. So that was my first chief mate assignment.
One man down for that.
Yeah. So you understand, and that was how the other captain, the Ghana captain, also went there.
Okay.
That story for another year.
Yeah.
So now, as we are saying, in our own operations within our waters, do we have the likelihood of this kind of thing? Lagos, Port Harcourt, anywhere, do we have this tendency? Me, I know that Eco Bridge, if you are going to Edin Jetty, you have a tendency. You are not passing under the bridge, but the current in that place. So you have to have tugs, strong tugs, not those kukurua. Yes. You understand? And don't try to swing your vessel without dredging your anchor. You have to use your anchor if you have any reason to swing there, because that current there is super strong.
Another thing, the use of stem tug, I think is rare on this our side. That they only have
the side tugs.
Side tug. They don't have stem tug.
It depends on the current.
But do you need a what do you need a stem tug for?
Okay. Assuming this issue, there's a stem tug, and maybe the stem tug is not legal.
No, even if you have a side tug, they can pull you backward. Okay. So stem tug, I think maybe if you are approaching SBM, yes, but the other things is redundancy concept should not finish on DP vessels alone. Conventional vessels, there are risk everywhere.
I think DP took clue from those vessels. They have their level of redundancy. Then we have we had 4 generators.
You have 4 generators.
Then after them, but we put on standby. Yes.
Bus bars, everything.
Because there was a time we had
because we are very just categorize this as DP1. That's just only one.
It's not even DP. It's conventional vessel.
It's just one. It's just one. All the system is one. No isolation. If anything happen to one, all go down.
Yes.
Yeah. From the engine, we only have one engine.
Yes, only one engine. Just one engine. What if the engine stops?
At least today, you guys have agreed that you guys fought the Baltimore Bridge, have you?
No. As it must be. We agree to an extent.
We never can say. It depends on how the captain also give the telegram command.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. Maybe you want to start the engine beginning from full astern or full ahead.
But can't your vessel handle crash stopping?
What of crash starting? That you want to start, just go full ahead at once. Okay.
You know, sometimes some captains will make mistakes now. They're like, well, for example, when he wants to go astern, he not puts out. I will like, this man, you want to confirm from me now? What is going on now?
When the captain is giving order of full astern, if it is a pitch propeller, if it is a controllable pitch, does it demand additional power?
Yes, of course. It's load on the engine.
But what if it is direct drive? The engine will have to stop.
Yes. Then now go and start. Yes.
So which one demands more power than between the two?
One demands more air. There's no power in terms of what the CPP takes more power.
No, are you sure?
Yes. Now this one is just coming. You have stopped the engine. You now build and go astern. But for the CPP, it's running already. Just propeller.
The engine is starting.
So it now depends on the pitch you apply.
So I think the fixed propeller take more power to me.
Yes.
The fixed propeller take more power. You guys have because you have to stop.
In layman terms, there's a ship in Baltimore was negotiating through the channel and was passing under the bridge. It was meant to pass under the bridge, but in the course of moving towards the bridge, these two people, they quench. Something happened in their engine room. They are always down somewhere in the engine room. So something happened to their generator. The generator blackout, like like NEPA took the lights in layman terms. So now, when that happened, immediately they lost some attachments, like some pumps and everything that is giving lube oil and fuel pump to keeping the engine alive. So the engine shook, and I don't know, maybe true it has to stop or whatever. So anyway, they lost engine. The thing recovered because they had emergency generator. I passed my neighbor. So they passed my neighbor start. The thing again after a while, What if you even shut down their pass my neighbor?
What maintenance now? They might not be maintaining
So
this.
maybe did they say the emergency generator say stop too? Or maybe they recover the power, maybe they still change it.
Or it stop by itself.
There might be, for example, now if you have the emergency generator, now you have to switch over again. Okay. If you have recovered, you now switch over. So we'll go back out. So if you don't have the procedure, if you don't know the procedure from changing over from emergency generator to main generator, you might have problems.
And when you recover, you see go through all those synchronize, all those plenty.
You don't need to synchronize it. You just load it back.
Okay, so that was how the vessel now had the NEPA took lights. They went under the bridge, and the captain want to go reverse. We call it as 10. Then one way or the other, it go to the right, which is starboard, and collide with the bridge. But before the accident happened, they were able to call the port operation. Port operation called the last man guiding the bridge to stop the vehicle from coming on the bridge. If not for that singular act, too many people, in fact, the casualty, the fatality would have been so much. So I give it up. Those guys, American response is super good. Nigeria should try to learn from it. No problem, even when there's no issue. Please, our contingency plan should be in place. We should be ready. And going forward, during critical passage, please let there be thugs to follow the vessel. Let's assume that engineers will always do what they know how to do best, but let us have a thug on standby to escort the vessel through the bridge. And by the time we were able to escort the vessel, then we can stop all these things. So thank you very much, Chief Engineer Akituji Damilola. I know some senior chief engineer, some they will come out and they will tell you that the emergency generator, the engine should not switch off because of so we are glad to receive comments, and let's learn from it. Thank you very much. This is the Captain's Desk.
Captain's Desk. Only the seafarers can tell the seafarer's story. Smoke Room TV.